Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Sorry if I seem a little stuffy or I sound kind of strange. I have a cold, so I'm just kind of trying to take it easy today. And, I worked out a little bit to try and get the blood pumping, and I felt better. But now that the night is coming, it's starting to kind of settle in again. I got a ton of great Blu-rays and movies for Christmas. My birthday is fairly close to Christmas, so I got them for that too. And then I got a bunch of gift cards from people, which was awesome. So I picked up a couple more. So I have a lot of movies to go through here that I picked up, and I just wanted to talk briefly about each of them. The first one is Three from Hell with Sherry Moon Zombie and Bill Moseley. This is the third film in the Devil's Rejects House of a Thousand Corpses series of movies. It's not really a horror movie. It's more of like a action film almost in a way with some horror elements, but it was pretty cool. It's about the Three from Hell on the run. I did a little review on my channel if you'd like to see, or hear, I should say, a little more about it. I also picked up, actually, my parents got me this Miami Connection. This is a really bad kung fu movie about friendship, or not kung fu, excuse me. Is it taekwondo? Taekwondo movie about friendship, and it's made by I believe this guy on the cover, whose name is YK Kim, who is a martial artist and inspirational speaker. And this was drudged up by the Texas Draft House and put on Blu-ray, and they sell this supposedly in vending machines in their lobby. But my parents picked this up for me, excuse me, because I watched it and I thought it was really, really funny. This is a great bad movie to watch with friends. I also got from my wife for Christmas Destroyer and Edge of Sanity. These both have Anthony Perkins in them from Psycho fame. That's the connection. Destroyer has, what is his name? Lyle Alzado. He was an old football player. I believe he's dead now. Who plays like a guy in a jail who gets electrocuted and he doesn't die. He comes back stronger and starts killing people who are filming a movie in the jail. And this Edge of Sanity is like a mixture of Jekyll and Hyde with Jack the Ripper, with Anthony Perkins playing the main character. It was pretty cool. And Destroyer's really good. I also picked up Night of the Comet, which is a fun 80s zombie movie with all the little cliches in it. Good 80s, like, kind of fun comedy horror. Motel Hell, which is again, a comedy horror, probably in the line of something like, crap, what would I compare it to? There's quite a few comedy horrors, I would say. Maybe something like Slaughterhouse. So it's a pretty cool movie about these people that run a motel and are killing people and stuff. This one is one that gets beat up a lot, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch this on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, perhaps. Bloody New Year. This is a fairly recent release by Vinegar Syndrome, and it's made by a guy I'm still learning about named Norman J. Warren, who made Satan's Slave, Terror, and I think he made another one called Inseminator about these aliens inseminating humans. But this is one where these people go to an old, I think it's like a rundown hotel, and all this crazy stuff starts happening, but it's really cheesy, and you find out by the end of the movie why this crazy stuff is happening and what it has to do with New Year's. But I don't want to spoil it. It's a cheesy, like, schlocky horror movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Blood Harvest, which has a great Tiny Tim playing a weird clown. He is not the main character, which sucks. I wish he was the main character, because he is really good, or was really good when he was alive, at being creepy. So Blood Harvest is a fun little, like, B horror movie. Tiny Tim has a great role in it. Wish I would have seen more with him in it. Unmasked Part 25 I had covered on my channel already. It is a British dry comedy with horror, parodying the Friday the 13th films. So if you like those, you like British humor, check out Unmasked Part 25. This really grew on me. It's a cool film. My buddy Alex had ordered 2 copies of this by mistake, So he traded one to me, and that is Pumpkinhead. I had the DVD, but I upgraded now to the Blu-ray. It's a great revenge demon horror movie. Sort of, it doesn't reach the levels of something like Friday the 13th or Halloween in terms of its popularity, but it's up there. This is definitely higher than some of the other ones here in terms of people knowing it. But if you haven't seen it, check this out. The second one's not so good, but the third and fourth one are actually pretty good. So check out the Pumpkinhead movies if you haven't seen them. I got this at the dollar store, Neverending Story 2. I hadn't seen this since I was a child. I have the first one on Blu-ray, so I picked this up, and it was pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but the first one's like a classic. So, Dolls, which is it Stuart Gordon? I want to say it's a Charles Band movie, and I want to say it's done by Stuart Gordon. Yep, directed by Stuart Gordon, who also did Reanimator and From Beyond and a bunch of other ones that I showed off before. It's about these little dolls in this old people's house that are killing people. It sort of reminds me of like a Goosebumps episode, but longer. It's definitely juvenile in certain aspects of it, but it's a fun movie. This one's really fun. My good friend Brian got me this for my birthday. He knew I wanted it, and this is the UK release of Doom Asylum, which is region free, so you can get the UK one usually cheaper than the American version. Excuse me. It's about the woman from Frankenhooker. What's her name? Patty Mullen. Who it says on the back she also did Penthouse. She's in this, and her and her friends are being chased in a abandoned asylum by this guy who they thought was dead, but when they were doing his autopsy on him, he came to life and just started killing people, and then I guess ran away into this local asylum. So he's killing people in the asylum. It's like a comedy horror. It's not really. It's got some gore, but it's not scary. It's just more silly. A lot of dumb humor. Patty Mullen has some funny little weird one-liners. So if you like her and you like comedy horror, I like Doom Asylum. I think it's a pretty good movie. But understand what you're getting into. Uh, Also, another UK release, Madman. This was supposed to be the Legend of Cropsey, but The Burning was coming out, and the people who were making Madman caught wind of it. So they changed the story a little bit to a character called Madman Mars, and they changed the story, like the lore as well. It's about this guy who killed his family named Mars, Madman Mars, and if you say his name, sort of like Candyman, he comes alive and kills everyone in the vicinity. So this is a pretty good horror movie. I thought the guy who played Madman Mars was really creepy looking and very imposing. He looked really scary. Like sometimes you get these killers that are, and this is just a straight horror movie, but sometimes you get these killers that like are kind of goofy looking. He looked scary. What else here? Night of the Creeps, which is a comedy horror. It sort of feels like something maybe John Carpenter would do in a sense. It's got that like cheesiness to it, or Halloween 3. It sort of feels like Halloween 3 a little bit. It's about these aliens coming to Earth and going into dead people's bodies and taking over and like turning them into zombies. And what's his name is in it? Oh boy, his name is Tom Atkins is in it, who you'll know from Halloween 3 as well. He's the gentleman with the mustache on the front. But it's a fun, like, comedy horror, back in the 80s with, like, teenagers and stuff having parties. I like this one. It grew on me. Hell Comes to Frogtown, a great schlocky post-apocalyptic film with Rowdy Roddy Piper fighting against these humanoid-type frogs who have taken over, and he's also trying to repopulate the Earth because I think a lot of the men are sterile due to a nuclear bomb or something. It's really weird, but a good, well-done B-horror movie. I hear the sequels are terrible, so I'm going to stay away from those, but this one's really good, so I upgraded this on Blu-ray. I also got a cult classic here that really grew on me as well, Street Trash. This is a really grungy, sleazy, messed up movie. It sort of feels like maybe Basket Case or Brain Damage. What else would I compare it to? Those are kind of the two that come to mind. It's a movie about these bums that come across this alcohol that I guess is like poisoned, and it's like making everyone explode, and everyone's dying, and there's lots of like gratuitous violence and nudity and fighting. Um, this guy's trying to kick the bums out of his car lot, his like junkyard, and the bums are all arguing over alcohol, and it's not really a huge story, but the violence and the nuttiness is really cool. If you like sleazy films, like I said, Basket Case, Brain Damage, and things like that, check this out. You'll like Street Trash if you haven't seen it. All right, we're down to the final two. We have Highway to Hell, which stars Rob Lowe's brother Chad Lowe and Christy Swanson from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer film. This is like a comedy. I wouldn't say comedy horror. Maybe it has some horror elements. It's the two main characters are engaged and they're going to run off and get married. And this cop from hell kidnaps virgins before they get married or something. And he kidnaps Christy Swanson, is it? Christy Swanson. I always said Kirsty. Christy Swanson. And now her boyfriend has to go to hell to pull her out of there. All this crazy stuff happens. Lots of weird claymation and like special effects. I liked it. It's a cool little weird like B action movie with like horror elements. I guess it's not really horror, but this is out by Kino Lorber. They put out some good underground stuff. And the last movie is a double pack. It's Terror Vision and The Video Dead. The Video Dead I watched today, and Terror Vision I think we watched last night. I had seen them both prior on Amazon. Terror Vision is a movie I may have covered, I think I did, about this alien coming through the television and like killing this really cheesy 80s family with very huge stereotypes. The parents are swingers, the son is into military stuff, the grandfather's like a Vietnam vet, um, the daughter's like a punk rocker. You know, everything is over the top and gaudy, and this alien comes and they're trying to like kill the alien and escape, but everything's really silly. It has the guy from Napoleon Dynamite, the uncle who plays the werewolf in Monster Squad, and Diane Franklin from Bill and Ted. And what else was she in? Amityville 2. She's in a lot of movies. You'll recognize her if you see her. And The Video Dead is similar. They both have the TV connection, but instead of aliens coming out of the TV like Terror Vision, The Video Dead has zombies coming out of this TV that turns on by itself, and they're trying to stop the zombies. Definitely a grittier, lower budget feeling than Terror Vision, but I can see why they put this in a 2-pack for Scream Factory. So these are all my crazy amount of Blu-rays I got for my birthday and Christmas and Amazon gift cards and whatnot. As I said, there is some more coming in, but I'll just wait until more come in and then compile those and show them off when they come. So thanks, guys, for watching. Let me know what you think of these movies. Have you seen all of them? What are some of your favorites here that I got? Are there any you disliked? Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.